everybody, it's Kristin and welcome to Palooza Part 5. This is the final installment of Palooza. Thank you guys so much for watching and commenting, and I'm so glad that you guys enjoyed this. I really had no idea that it would take off as much as it did and that you guys would want to see these. So at any rate, thank you so much. I'm going to, this is, as I said, drugstore, and some of it is international drugstore and some of it is, you know, obviously what I can get here in the States. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started with Sonia Kashuk, and I have 3 palettes from Sonia Kashuk, and I'm starting with this because what I'm wearing on my eyes today is a combination of the Eye on Neutral Shimmer as well as the Eye on Neutral, just Eye on Neutral. It's all matte though. So these are awesome. You can tell that I've used this. I've even hit pan. For me to hit pan in a palette is something. Now granted, that's a shade I like to use all the time, but nonetheless. These are very nice. They're a little bit powdery, but this I think is $20, and I mean, you were hard pressed to find a palette that this wouldn't work in conjunction with. So especially if you have palettes that are maybe all shimmer. Sometimes there's quads out there that are gorgeous, but all 4 shades are shimmer and you just want a matte to work into it. This is a really nice drugstore option for a matte to work into that. I know this one is still available. I'm not sure about the shimmer, if this is permanent or not. I believe that it was, but I'm not positive. So these are all nice shimmery shades. They go on very well. They last if you use a primer. They don't last very well on their own, but I didn't swatch any of the mattes just because, I don't know, I didn't. Those are some of the shades in that one. This one is just gorgeous. And we'll give you a little swatch. That's one swipe of each of them. So very, very nice. I've used this quite a lot. I have often pondered doing a 4 looks 2 palettes with both of these, or 4 looks 3 palettes, you know, and using this one in conjunction. I've pondered, but clearly haven't done it yet. So then the last one that I have, and this one I know is limited edition, is the Eye of a Jeweler, Jewel of an Eye palette. And these are just really pretty jewel tones, right up my alley. I love me a jewel tone. So we'll just swatch like the really pretty cut. This one here is very interesting. It's kind of that, you know, that might be a dupe for that Lorac Mega Pro Deep Teal. But anyway, so I'll swatch that one. Random much, Kristin. So there are some of the shades in there. Very pretty. I do find that some of them within here are better than others. So you can see that one shears out a little bit. If you use like a black or a brown base underneath there, it makes that color pop even more. But I'm really sad. Let's just swatch this purple one too. I'm really sad that it wasn't permanent because it was fun to play with. Yeah, that's that one. Just really, really fun colors. So that's the Sonia Kashuk. I have a feeling this video could be a little bit longer than the rest of them. These are going to go in absolutely no order. So I have 3 sleek palettes. One of them I purchased on my own, and 2 of them were gifts from Cornelia and Brigitte from Baby Cake 390. This one was a gift from them. And I haven't used this one all that much. This is in Paraguaya. This is really pretty, very coral orange. You can obviously see that. And then a really nice, cool brown right there. Swatch that one. I don't know how many of these are still available. I know that you can get sleek from their website. You don't have to have it, you know, like you can just order from them. I feel like it's $10 flat shipping if I remember correctly from the order that I placed. Okay, so this one is the Bad Girl palette. These are really, really pretty colors, and they, you know, they don't look like they're all that different. Really, they kind of look the same, but they swatch very differently. I'm just going to pick some random colors from the bottom there. I mean, aren't those stunning? I haven't used this near enough. I mean, look at that. That's that purple shade right here, that in purple. So the color comes off a little bit more deep than you would think in the swatch. So there are those shades, and that's just one. Look at one swipe of them. They're very, very nice. I need to play with this more. I love those. Again, it's kind of a deeper version with less shades, obviously, of the Sonia Kashuk. Really, really nice. And those two actually would pair probably very well together. The last sleek palette that I have is the one that I've given serious consideration to, a 4 Looks 1 palette, because I believe it's still available, and I know lots of people have this one, and that's the Storm palette. Another reason I've given serious consideration to it is because it has a nice transition color. It only has this real champagne color that in camera, it looks lighter than it actually is. It shows up a little bit deeper and really shimmery. So I'm not sure what I would use for a brow bone color. So if I did it, I would have to add in probably a brow bone color for me. But like this shade right here, just stunning. Look at that. What? Be a bronzy brown. Let's see, let's do one of the other ones. We'll do this one right here. It's kind of a pretty maroon sort of shade. And there's that right there. For those of you that just happened upon this one, because and this is your first palette Palooza, welcome. Oh God, seriously, isn't that pretty? I need to leave that out. I'm gonna play with that one. That's one of the reasons I've enjoyed doing this, is I was like, oh, I need to play with that palette. This is my 5th in a series of 4, and what I've been doing is just kind of showing you my palettes and kind of talking about my favorite shades within the palette. Okay, this one I used a whole bunch when I first got it, and I haven't used it much since. This I think came from my friend Tina in Ireland. This is the Heaven and Earth palette from MUA, and I don't know if it's still available. As you guys know, I'll stop saying that. If it is, I'll have it linked below if I can find it. These are just gorgeous, neutral, beautiful shades. And let's just pick a couple here. I don't think I have a favorite within here, but so those 3. These are very nice. They aren't the most pigmented shades in the world, but it's a nice neutral palette. And I believe MUA is really inexpensive. I'm not positive because we don't have it here, but I have heard that it's coming to, like, people are seeing it now at maybe CVS. I don't have CVS, so I don't know, but. And the other MUA palette that I have, which was a gift, is called the Undressed Palette. And this has some, well, there's a beautiful taupe in there. And it has a couple other different shades. This kind of reminds me a little bit of the Naked palette, like with this shade right here and that shade there. And this kind of looks a little bit like Half Baked. So, but not, you can see it's not quite as pigmented. But these are nice palettes, and just hit my elbow. And they are, to my knowledge, inexpensive. Okay, a couple of more internationals. This is from Catrice, and it's the Absolute Nude palette, and this was a gift also from Brigitte and Cornelia. Just gorgeous. I love the Catrice shades. I have lots of their singles that, you know, were gifts, and I'm just going to swatch some of these in the middle for you. Just beautiful texture. They last well. They blend well. Very, very nice. Catrice always has super cute packaging. So there are those. Just, you know, this came out when, you know, the craze of the nude palettes, right? And speaking of the craze of the nude palettes, this is also a gift to me from Quo. Not from Quo, from a friend, but it's by Quo. I should show you this. This is what the palette looks like. It's so pretty. I love the packaging, and it's on the beach. And it was limited edition, to my knowledge. Has a nice combination of kind of shimmers and mattes in it. So there's some of the shades right there. And we'll go right above here. I was really impressed with the mattes in this. So this is that's one of the mattes right there. But just a really nice neutral palette. Do you think I have a few neutral palettes in my collection? 1 or 2. So the majority of this is going to be Wet n Wild, but before we get to that, I do have 2 palettes from NYX. This one I got in a Allure beauty box, I believe, and it is the Love in Paris, something about a la mode. Yep, a la mode. I've not used this very much. I definitely don't have a favorite shade in it, but there are some interesting shades. Like this is an interesting kind of cool brown color. I just haven't played with it much. So I don't have a favorite shade in that. And then this one I bought a long time ago to do, so I could do a 4 Looks 1 palette with a Drugstore, because I think the only one I've done is with one of the Wet n Wilds, or maybe, I think I've done a couple with the Wet n Wilds. But, and if I'll have my 4 Looks 1 palette playlist below for you as usual. But this was the Merci Beaucoup, and I just love this, particularly for these 2 shades right here. I thought those were pretty unique. And this one, of course, down here. But you can tell that I have not used it. I'm just randomly picking shades here. I think if I did this one, I would have to use bases with it, which as you guys know is like a big no-no for me. Part of the challenge of 4 looks 1 palette is to stay within the palette. But so there are a few of those shades, that kind of cranberry and that peach and then the kind of gold one. You can see it's just not spectacular. So I don't know. Don't love that one. All right, the next two I have are from Physicians Formula, and these were a gift from my friend Holly. And I love these. I think the packaging is so cute. They open up like this. And then, so this is the one in Natural Nude, and this is the one in Classic Nude. And what I actually have done with these, this is the, look how, I mean, can we just, all right, let's just, look at the pretty lace. It's so pretty. Anyway, what I have, there's a beautiful, you know, kind of taupe and bronze in there. But honestly, what I have done with these is use them more as a cheek highlight. I kind of take my F35 or whatever kind of brush you're using. I don't have any highlight on today. I just have a Chanel blush on today. And I kind of run it out of the, tap it off. And it's just a really pretty kind of subtle highlight. Let's match, shall we? So you can see it just adds a little sheen. I have used that more, and you know why? I'll be very honest with you. I can't do that as much with this one, by the way, because there's a brown right smack in the middle of it. It's harder to avoid. This one has the brown way down here. I have a hard time getting the right shades that I want because there's not space in between those. It's probably just my OCD. But I love, like I said, I really love this as a highlight. I've never talked about that. I probably should have. Okay, Wet n Wild. All right, let's just prepare ourselves. I will not be swatching probably everything in here. We're just going to talk about it, how I feel about the palettes, that sort of thing. First, let's talk about these palettes. Wet n Wild. They don't know who I am, by the way. Could you bring them back? These were so nice. One of my favorite palettes, this is the second one of these that I have, is the Vanity palette. I just love this. I wish they would bring it back. This shade right here, I mean, come on. And this brown is such a nice, warm chocolate brown. Look at that. And this right here is Brulee, the same shade as Brulee is. I mean, can we just? I forgot to clean my other swatches off. So I really wish they would bring these back. Now I have heard that you can get these on Amazon or eBay or that sort of thing for very inexpensive. So check. So again, this is the Vanity palette. The other one that they had in these 6-pan, these were called the Wet n Wild Color Icon palettes. So this one was Lust, and I love this deep shade right here in here. Oh, look at, can we? Beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. So the quality in these is so nice, and the mix of matte with shimmer, I just don't, it astounds me that they took them away. It makes no sense to me, but whatever. So the next one is Greed, and I didn't use this one very often. I know lots of people really liked it because they liked the different kind of, you know, your smoky eye option in there with the nice kind of peachy to warm things up. And so, again, this one was Greed. And then this one I didn't use very often as well, but I liked having the color options. And this actually I think is my second one. I think I shattered my first one, but this is the one in Pride. And this navy blue, we'll swatch this is the matte navy blue and then the shimmer green. So there are those shades. The quality just is really good for a drugstore, for as inexpensive as they were. I think when they were sold in store, they were maybe $2.99, something like that, but oh, Wet n Wild. Okay, so the rest of the ones that I have are 8-pan palettes. This is, I mean, kind of their replacement, but the shades are different in here. They're a little bit different. So this was the Blue Had Me at Hello. Very nice. Blue, navy blue. Again, I believe this is still available. You can kind of see the shades that I have used here and there, but fun to play around with. And I think these are $5 if I remember correctly. And this one has been talked and over-talked and talked to death, the Comfort Zone palette. I believe this is one that I did a 4 Looks 1 palette on. And these are very, very nice. And you can search on YouTube. Apparently a lot of these are dupes for MAC shadows, but dupes aren't really my thing. Then the next one that I have is the Petal Pusher. I'm not sure why I'm showing it to you through the thing each time. But that is at nice purples. Again, I believe that Those three are all part of the permanent line unless they have changed something. Okay, so this one is not limited edition, but it's not sold anywhere up here. I don't know. My friend, Kat from Pretty Daisies, sent this to me, and it's technically not Wet n Wild. It's Black Radiance. And this is in Downtown Browns. And I've used mostly this eyelid. I always avoid the words because I'm such a freak. So I've used this eyelid color quite a bit right here, but you need to put it over a base to get a really decent payoff. So you can see it's really nice. But some of these, like the crease shade and the accent shade on the left-hand side, so those are those two. Some of them do have mattes, and then some of them have satins that kind of, you know, will function like a matte if you're trying to tone things down. But anyway, okay. I'm going a mile a minute up in here. So the next one that I have is and I have stopped myself from, I used to be like a crazed person trying to collect them all, and I'm not anymore. Because then I don't necessarily use them, you know what I'm saying? The next one that I have is Shimmer the Night Away. I believe this was limited edition. I don't think I've ever used this. What can I say? Let's look at that eyelid color in the silver. Oh, that's a really pretty silver. Doesn't come off quite as nicely, and does one of those things. Do you guys have silvers like that pull blue on you? That's what that silver looks like it would do on me, based on that swatch. This one I love in the summer, and again, I have used it here and there, not a ton, but this was the Sparkle Till Morning. Had this kind of fun color. I used this on my lower lash line at one point, I believe, but this metallic gold kind of copper shade right here, it's just gorgeous. Pull these out if you guys have them. I should spend like a month with Wet. I could probably spend a month with Wet n Wild. So this one I'm not sure if it's permanent or not. I've heard varying opinions on it. When I got it, it was called the I Heart Matte palette, and it just has all of these matte shades. This one right here, the brow bone color, is very much like the Wet n Wild Brulee. You're not going to be able to see it, but although it has a little more peach to it, I think, than Brulee, has a little more vanilla to it, if that makes any sense. And this brown is just a really pretty warm brown. And these, let me put it not there. There you go. And they blend very well for mattes. I really was impressed with this. I haven't used it. So I remember being crazed trying to find this one, and then I believe it was Kristin that sent me this one from Kristin321. And I haven't used it. Oh, game. But look, I mean, if these aren't Kristin colors, this is why I was like, I have to have this palette. And I've calmed down since then, like I said. Let's just swatch that eyelid color, just because, that's that gold. It has to be one that you would just tap over. That's the swatch of that. Whew, buddy. But that, I mean, the crease and the definer color on the left-hand side, right? Throw something matte in the crease, and that definer actually comes out a little bit more matte. Those are very nice. So anyway, that one was limited edition. Only two more, and I'm almost done. This one was Nude Awakening. Somebody hooked me up with this one too, I'm certain. I can never find these. When these come out, they just never come to shine. I feel like once I got them. So there are some of the shades there. Will go on my arm. What's funny is that it's harder for me to have a favorite shade in smaller palettes than it is in bigger palettes. I'm not really sure why. And then the last one is Going Into the Wild, and I feel like I did 4 looks on this one as well, so you guys will have to check. One, I like this shade quite a bit, and the definer shade below that as well. So those are those 2 shades. And there they are on my hand. And that, my friends, ends Palette Palooza. Whoo, buddy. I'll tell you what, it has been a good thing for me to see what I have in my stash and what I haven't used and have used and that sort of thing. And I don't know that my opinion as far as, I did my favorite palettes, I think, not that long ago, and I will try to remember to link that below for you guys. I don't think my opinion has changed currently as far as what my favorite palettes are. I think, you know, it kind of changes throughout time, and it might change in 6 months, but I feel like it wasn't all that long ago that I did my top 10 palettes or something like that. So I don't think any of that has changed, but thank you guys so much for hanging with me through this. I know that a lot of you really wanted it, and a lot of you had looked forward to the drugstore ones. I believe, and again, I know you guys asked for the quints and the quads, and maybe I will try to do that later in the winter or something like that, but let's have a little break, shall we? All right, so on my face today I have, and I'm working on review for you guys, the Dior Star foundation, Dior Skin Star foundation, that one. So just started that. I've just working on things. For my blush today, I have the Chanel Cream Blush, or Le Blush Creme in Revelation. It's the only one of these that I have. And on my eyes, as I said, I have the two Sonia Kashuk, the Ion Neutral and Ion Shimmer. And on my lips, I have the Chanel Glossomer. This is the only Chanel Glossomer I believe that I have, and it's an 04 Spark, which that's all that I have, just that on my lips today. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you're having a great day, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye.